use it. If it isn't, we don't use it.
Oh, because
That's the problem. That's, yeah, because it continues to cook.
Can you cut it in place?
Do you have the shot?
Yeah, I've already got this shot, and if you want to cut it right there, I'll see if it runs.
Let's just get some more money out of the shot. All right, chef, put a knife in it.
Bien sûr. Il faut que ça coule. Si ça ne coule pas, ils ne s'en servent pas.
Putain, ça coule pas là. Oula.
Yeah, no worries. So we don't use the shot. Don't worry about it.
Okay, sorry about that.
We
No
take make a new one.
No, don't worry about it.
So that's actually a very hard meal to match with wine.
Yeah.
Because eggs.
Yes,
is
completely.
always-
Eggs a nightmare.
Yeah,
You get the fat from the yolk and
exactly. So I decided to put some white wine because the yolk can be very creamy, and with our dry white wine from Smith Lafitte, it's very
it'll
nice.
cut through. Super.
Yes.
You speeding, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. So just before we get started, and we'll go right back into that in a second. So you're going to give me your business card, but spell your first name. This is just so we have it.
Yes, my name is Alice, Alice. My last name is Tourbier, Tourbier.
And how would you like to be identified?
I'm the owner of Les Sources de Caudalie.
Bingo. Got it?
Yep.
And we'll start with this actually while it's hot. So, Alice, this is a really hard wine pairing. I mean, anytime as a chef, I'm thinking, well, egg yolk and wine
Yes.
is like, I don't know. Tell me what you picked.
I choose to taste it with a white wine because I think our dry white wine is very fresh, very intense, and I think it will go through the egg because
it has that cut.
yes, and also the chef cooks the cèpe mushroom with un bouillon de poulet, chicken broth.
right.
Yes. So and the chicken goes very well with white wine, obviously. So you'll see.
Let's go. We'll find out in a second.
So I love this meal because have you seen our farm? We have
No, but your chef was raving about it. I mean,
Yes.
so like, well, you know, the eggs come from our chickens and the ceps come from our garden. I'm like, what? Really?
yes, everything
you
is
lucky?
from farm to table here at Les Sources de Caudalie. We are happy to take. Of course, we drink the wine from the vineyards. We have the eggs from the farm. So
All right. Now we try the wine.
our white wine is made of Sauvignon Blanc. There's a big majority of white Sauvignon, and we only have 5% of grey Sauvignon, which is an old grape varietal.
You're right. You're right. It goes right through it.
I think it can match
super.
this great meal. So
Super. So this is an amazing story. You know, we drive in and you see this gorgeous chateau, and it looks like it's been in the family for 10 generations, and I'm going to meet you, and there's going to be a picture of your great-great-grandfather on the wall.
no.
This is your parents' story, and your, of course, your family story. Talk a little bit about it.
Yes, we.
Hold.
Sorry. Wait, the camera's just on you.
No, it's fine.
And I'm sorry, anytime.
So the story is Smith Lafitte.
Yes, I wasn't born in a barrel. I was born in Grenoble, which is the other part of France.
Right.
And my family moved to Bordeaux when I was 15 years old. And my parents had invested in this beautiful chateau that was at this time not one of the top of the list Bordeaux wines, but we knew that there was an amazing potential. It was like a sleeping beauty. So I'm very proud of what my parents did to Smith Lafitte.
It's astonishing. It's beautiful. I mean, it's
Yes.
just, it's kind of, they match the old architecture. Everything that's new here is made from recycled material and old material, and it looks as if it was built
Yes,
250 years ago.
That's true. We combine the very authentic method of winemaking as well as the architecture and the most modern technology that you can find to make also the wine so nice. Would you like to try our first grove as well, because this is our second label?
I never say no to that.
Okay, will be
Super.
fun. If on peut avoir un peu de Smith au Lafite blanc, à mon avis, c'est super. Merci beaucoup. So that's Les Eaux de Smith, which is the second label, and Smith au Lafite is our first label.
Again, Sauvignon Blanc almost exclusively?
Yes, same
Same blend.
same blend, same style. On the second label, the wine are a little bit younger. We are very pleased with our second label because Les Eaux de Smith, because we've made enormous progress on the way we did this wine. It's the youngest vine of Smith au Lafite, but they have freshness, fullness, and of course Smith au Lafite is brilliant.
You can see the color already, right?
Hold it up for a sec.
Yeah, it's much more golden.
Swirled again. Okay.
And do you know what Caudalie means?
No.
Because in the middle of our vineyard, we built les sources de Caudalie, the sources of Caudalie. And Caudalie is actually the unit of measurement of the aftertaste of the wine in the mouth.
I should have known that.
It's a very old French term, and no,
You know, it's funny. This is Sauvignon Blanc.
this is Sauvignon.
And I'm getting none of that Pilosine, none of that. It's not, the nose is very floral. I mean, it's very, how do I say this as a compliment? It's not as exuberantly, tropically, and I can't use on TV the other word that people use to describe it. Pyrazine is the word, the chemical word. None at all. I'm not sure I would have guessed what it was yet.
It's 2010, if I'm correct. So 2010 is already 5 years old, and I love the way our Sauvignon Blanc are aging because they.
This is great. Yeah, the New York Times recently did a story. Do you read Eric Asimov? So you don't? Okay.
Not all the time.
Well,
but,
he did. He does Wine of the Month, and he gets a lot of response. Beginning of the month, he says, "This is what we're going to talk about this month," and he gives you a couple of labels to try. And people around the world read it. They go buy the wine, and a month later, he has a discussion of what he thought. He tasted with sommeliers, and then opens it up to the comment section, the way the Times does these days. And he recently did Bordeaux Blanc, and it was just great to see you guys getting some light shined on you, because
it's true, because for most people, Bordeaux is
Red.
famous for red.
Red.
But here in this part of Bordeaux, we are just south of Bordeaux city center in the Graves, Pessac-Léognan. We've been producing amazing dry white wines. Of course, south of Bordeaux, Sauternes is very famous.
yeah,
But the Bordeaux dry white wines
they're
are
astonishingly good. I love them.
Yes.
And you've had the new designation of Pessac-Léognan, which is kind of a little bit more specialized, but this is extraordinary. This is one of the best I've ever had in my life. This is
Merci
great.
beaucoup.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
To
Pleasure.
the next generation of Smith au Lafite.
Yes, and I'm very lucky because what my parents did for the past years is the best is yet to come, because we've worked on the vineyards to make sure they were planted the right way, and now we know our soil very well, and the choices that are made are just great. So I'm very excited.
You're right. Congratulations. Perfect.
Got it?
Yeah. Here, Joseph. You're still hungry. you want to have us walking in?
Yeah.
Is that hard to do?
No, absolutely, just do it.
Okay.
I'm already rolling.
And we'll stop. Pick a place where you want to stop where you really like the food. To my left.
And we're rolling.
So, what am I looking at here? What grape?
It's
You walk past our vines.
it's
Beautiful. What am I looking at here?
so this grape it's a Merlot.
Yeah.
It's Merlot.
Which is the first to ripen usually.
Exactly. It's the first in red, of course.
Right, in the reds.
Because the white came first.
Right.
But we finished the white.
Your whites are already not only finished, they're picked and they're fermented and they're on lees.
Exactly. Nowadays, yeah, their fermentation is done, and so we're starting the aging that will last 8 to 10 months into barrels.
We're going to go taste that later, but let's get back to this again. Let's
Okay,
get back
no
to this. So we got Merlot, which is of your reds, it's usually the first one to ripen.
Exactly. So we will start. We actually weather is so great this year, so we wanted to get the full maturity, and we're enjoying this great sun,
Yeah.
and so we're going to harvest in a few days. And how we realize that it's almost ripe. Usually when you remove, the fruits, you can see the red stick. So it's
So I see what you're talking about right there. yeah, at the end where you pulled it out.
exactly. So that means that it's close to the full maturity. And when you get the fruits, you can all the flavors are coming. Skin is start to be very very nice, because what's important for us, it's what's into the skin, not the juice, but really into the skin.
Yeah, they learned that lately. Like you could have perfect brick, perfect acid, but the tannins in the tannin in the skin's not ready.
Exactly.
And this year, 2015, you've had this amazing hot summer,
Exactly.
really productive vines. You're going to have really good yields. And what's the third week of September now?
I mean, we're
The end of September.
Exactly.
The
End of
and
September.
we've been here for a week, and every day is nice and cool in the morning, gets a little hot, breezes. It's perfect.
Windy, so it's perfect conditions to wait a bit more.
We thought you were going to be harvesting today, and you're not. And I'm like, fine. Because why harvest if you have 5 or 6 more days of the season for concentration to get those grapes a little tighter, a little riper? Why?
And that's exactly you get the point, because it's always at the end, the few more days that you gain at the end, it makes the difference into the wine after that.
Your soup, as we were driving here, I get out of the car, and you could see with the camera, I'm looking around, and we seem like we're on a really high piece of ground, not like a mountain peak, and I'm looking, but if you look around, is this one of the highest elevations?
Exactly, it's one of the highest points in the Appellation Pessac-Léognan. That's very good, because we always get some winds, and wind that will dry. When you get some wet weather, it will dry very fast all the leaves or the fruits, and avoid
minimal amount of spraying, minimal amount of disease, minimal amount of problem. Healthy soil. I mean, looking at the ground, it's moving, it's vibrant.
We try to get very very lively grounds, and that's really important. So we use very little amount of herbicide. I mean, no herbicide, but of chemicals, very very little amount, and we try to be as natural as possible.
Your whites, Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon, or just Sauvignon Blanc?
For the whites, it's mainly Sauvignon Blanc. I mean, 70% with 30% of Semillon. It's the both are very important, and of course Sauvignon Blanc for more aromatic part, and Semillon more for the structure into the wine, and to get wine that will have the ability to wait. I mean, and to be drank after a few years. There is no problem for that.
And this area, Pessac-Léognan, relatively new in terms of a designated area,
Exactly.
specifically because of the terroir. Because it's known, especially for the whites, as being remarkable.
It's it was created late 80s, but there is a very specific terroir here, very specific climate as well. That's why it was separated from Graves, because there is some difference from Graves regions. And here, what we try to get anyway in any choice that we are making is really to push the maturity for the white and for the white and for the reds, to get more terroir expression, more difference, and what I mean. Terroir, it's where everything starts. So
Yeah.
that's what we try to express in our wines.
This is where you make the wine
Exactly.
here.
Here and
So your Sauvignon Blanc's on lees, in the barrel.
yeah.
Can we go taste it? I hate
Of
to
course.
bug you. Couple of glasses. We can do this.
Oh, we can.
Let's head over to the
Yeah.
cellar. All right, we'll stop in a second. All right, Joseph, you're going to ask me for 3 things.
Okay, anytime. Pull one that's
Is it
a
red
little
enough?
closer to the camera, because
Yeah,
I don't think I
it's-
see the red.
Okay, so do the one the most exterior, maybe.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. This one, I think so.
Try. All right, Joe.
Yeah.
You see this one?
Yeah.
Do that one. See what happens. C'est bon. That's perfect.
I think I can see
Looks
it.
like it's bleeding.
And that's what when you think it's close to the full maturity.
Do me a favor, one more time. The one right to the right of that one.
This one?
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, the one
This
below.
one.
That's green. Bastard.
That one's good too.
Crop out blur out the green one.
It's good. Can I work for 5 minutes?
Yeah. Take 5 minutes. We have nothing but time.
Yeah.
You get their attention and keep it. So.
Yeah. No, not. I mean, technically, you need to be technical, but not too not
Yes.
too much. And yeah.
Yes, it's funny
It's,
how balance
The
you
right balance that you need to get. That's and anytime here when we receive some people and people are coming even for that, and when you
Right.
think that people are coming, usually that they are interesting in the wine, but even for that you need to catch their attention and to be. I mean, sometimes wine. I mean, you can explain wine very with a very boring,
Yes.
very boring style, and
Very-
to complicate the. I mean, it's very easy to be very complicated with the wine.
Yeah, to be very
But-
technical and use words that people don't know what they mean, and then
Um,
they suddenly they're intimidated. Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? What's that mean? What are phenols?
Yeah.
What's this? What's malolactic? What's carbonic? What?
And maybe it's because I'm not from. I mean, the wine. I don't have a wine history for ages. That's why maybe we try to be more academic, not academic, but to be
Less academic, actually.
less academic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And to be more simple. I mean, because actually it's simple to explain. It's simple to people to make them understand that to make great wine you need to have some great. I mean, we're plowing the ground, you know. So sometimes,
Junk.
yeah, just you know, it's some. I mean, to plow it's easy. I mean, that's not when you destroy some vine sometimes, but after you get some. It's mechanical, but you get some plowing machine
Mm.
that it's with a stick, and the stick is touching, you know, the wood, and after it's moving the plowing machine. So
It goes the wrong direction.
it goes exactly. It's moving around, but sometimes the vine is not very regular. So
I'm gonna go to Bordeaux this weekend to my chateau, maybe, or I might go to Biarritz if the surf is good. I'm not sure.
hard life. Hein? C'est bien comme un ex. Un jour.
Beautiful.
And beside it's La Tour Martillac, one of the Cru Glacé. On no. It was at 4 or I don't know. Yeah, during this time, no.
You sleep when you can.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with a young boy. He's 4 months now, so
No,
whatever.
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months.
Is he sleeping at night or not so much? Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
I have 2 big ones. God, when they're little, it's like, what the fuck? This first one especially, because no one knows. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God,
Yeah, that's
is
why,
he
yeah.
dying? Is he in pain?
It's nice. That time of the year, that's nice. Yeah. So yeah, well, for the eclipse, no. I let that for. I just saw on
I'll
on
watch
TV.
the video. That's right. I'm sure it's on YouTube, like tomorrow,
Exactly. No.
in high def.
Yeah. So how old are they now?
26. His birthday was Monday, and 24, 23 and a half. For the big boys. Big boys, big trouble.
That's why you would say
when
trust.
when my kids were little, I remember an old guy like my age. And when my kids were little, I was talking about something. They fell down or something, and they said, "Oh, little children, little problems." I'm like, what the fuck's that mean?
Oh yeah, you understood now.
Yeah, right. All right,
Okay, Mike, you can get a little closer,
bingo.
and we're going.
All right, I'll set it up. Real fast.
Anytime.
All right. So we were just in the vineyard, and I said we've got to go inside because you haven't even harvested the Merlot yet. The Sauvignon Blancs, harvested, fermented, in this barrel, by the way, which I hate to say this is not Barrique. This is from someplace north.
It's from first place the east, northeast.
Yeah.
And from more, I mean, this size is not as usual as the 225
Yeah.
liters that is a normal size in Bordeaux. It's 400 liters
Burgundy.
Burgundy.
It's a Burgundy
Exactly.
size cask, but it's oak, and I think they know how to age white wines in oak in that place called Burgundy.
They produce some decent
Some
wine.
decent ones, some decent occasionally, on a good year.
So we're going to taste one lot of Sauvignon Blanc that is finished to ferment in 10 days ago now. And that's why the color is not as clear. Because lees, I mean, yeah.
It's there. It's there. And you'll have it how long on the lease? 7
10
months?
months.
10 months.
Yeah, 10 months on the lease, and we're making some batonnage, but flavors are here. You got exotic fruits, you get peach, you got.
It's like honestly, it's on fire. It's crazy. It's like phenols on steroids. Peach, ripe melon, peach flesh, ripe peach flesh. It's. Whew. This is going to be great.
It's going to be great.
It's really something.
You get freshness, you get the acidity, and it's going to gain, of course, more density in the middle of the mouth. But so far, we're very happy with the white of in 2015.
If you strained it, filtered it, fined it now, and put it in a bottle, it's better than 90% of the Sauvignon Blanc from elsewhere that I've had. It's delicious. This in 9 months, 10 months, a year is going to be incredible.
It's going to be, yeah. I'm very confident with the quality of the 2015 wine. It's we're going to taste Semillon too.
Semillon.
Let's move to Semillon. So Semillon.
Okay, cut.
1 second, he's got to come with us. He's
You know
not.
what? Actually, or now, go ahead. Hold it up a little.
All right, perfect.
Anytime.
Beautiful. Semillon now.
Yeah, Semillon.
And you're going to blend these. You're not going to. You don't have a release that's just one and the other exclusively. These will
No.
be blended.
Every Sauvignon needs a Semillon for me to be perfect matched. I mean to get some great wine. Sauvignon brings, of course, the aromatic parts. It's very fine, very dense, but Semillon will bring as well even more density.
More body, a little more fatness, a little
Exactly.
more richness.
And it will allow the wine to be aged longer into the bottles as well. So we're going to taste one of the Semillon we harvest. So fermentation finished, a week ago this. And you see it's a different aroma, it's...
Entirely. This is a little more floral, almost like white peach, much more subdued.
Even some kind of... it reminds me some English, or not English, but some sweets, very...
That kind of candy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there's one other thing in there. I can't freaking put my name on it, but. And you can get this great minerality. I always say this, but I know I'm wrong, but in a way, you've got limestone down there somewhere.
Exactly.
And there's this kind of acid minerality bound together that you get from limestone that to me, you can just pick it up, and this super long finish, and this is a baby.
Exactly. It's just a baby, and it gives, yeah, as you said, a very long finish, this freshness, and this density to the wine. It's and it's a question of terroir. Underneath we've got some limestone, and after we've got some clay, and in some parts we've got some gravel ground too. So when it usually it gets really a real personality to the wine, and as we push the maturity during the harvest, because we pick the grapes in different times.
Right. Great. You do 2 passes. You don't pick your whites in one
more,
pass.
Even more.
2, 3, 4 passes.
For Semillon,
because the color changes on these.
Exactly.
It gets darker. It goes from pale yellow to darker yellow
exactly.
to almost golden yellow to
Exactly.
almost getting I don't say reddish, but orange hue to it.
Yeah, and we train our workers to select the right grapes, because when you get the full maturity, of course, and when you age into barrels, you get a good balance between the barrel won't overtake the wine.
Right.
As you get this this maturity, as you get all of this, and of course it will allow the wine to be aged longer into the bottle.
God, what is that? It's like a candy. It's like there's something. And it was the first thing that hit me too. It's some. It's like, I'll remember it tonight when I'm sleeping.
And it's just a baby.
It's
so
just a
you
baby.
can imagine in 10 months' time, it will gain more power to the wine. It will be definitely nicer as well. But it's already you can already catch how the wine will be in 10 months' time.
The only thing this wine could really use that would make it a little bit better is if I got a chance to do batonnage.
You think so?
I'm going to try it. I have never done this before in my life. And they may take 6 takes. Let me try it.
Yeah, no problem.
Mike does his first batonnage ever. Let's go. 3-year roll. Forgive me. Forgive me, Cask. I'm sorry for what about...
We're going to you.
I've never done this before. Why would I? I have no idea. I've seen it done.
Yeah. So it's very traditional way to...
You do it first.
Okay, I show you?
Yeah, you show
Yeah,
me, actually.
okay.
I mean, I've seen it.
So it's a very traditional way, and why we do that? Because the lees are going to settle
On
into
the bottom,
barrel,
always.
and mechanically we move the lees to and exactly to and it will give more roundness to the wine and more complexity too.
How often batonnage? Once a week?
It depends on each lot. Some lots we make batonnage once or twice a week. Some every 2 weeks. It's really a question of tasting and how the wine is reacting into the barrels. So it's really it's very easy. You will see, very easy. I mean, it's a question of you need to be down into to go deep into the barrel.
And around the corners. I see what
Exactly.
you're doing. Super. All right, I'll put it inside. Hold on. I'm gonna really look like I'm fucking.
Let me start with you putting it in, because I didn't really see the business end of it very well.
Yeah, you'll see the business end of it in 10 seconds. Oops. That's obviously got sediment on it.
Yeah, of course.
All right, we'll hide that. We're really cheating. You ready?
Take it all the way out. Can you?
Yeah, it's all the way out.
Okay, go.
All right, we go inside here. Dun, 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 dun. So what I'm trying to get all the way into the corners, all
Yeah.
around the bottom,
Yeah,
and just
just to follow, the shape of the
shape
barrel.
of the barrel.
Yeah, and as it's not flat, of course, as it's round, yeah, but you're making some great batonnage.
Are you hiring?
Oh, I think so. For next
For next season?
For next season, 2016.
My first attempt. I was kind of coached, I'll admit it. And I want to show what this looks like when it comes out, because there may be...
Yeah.
No, actually none. It's clean.
But actually, because batonnage was well made. So
By you. Super. Thank you so much for making me try that.
yeah, no problem.
That was too much fun. All right, we probably have to rinse this off so we don't get fruit flies. That was great. That was fun to feel that barrel like that.
So you need
All right.
you want to
Clean these
yeah,
off so you don't.
you need to harvest that,
interesting.
but not before the full ripeness of the grapes.
I hate that.
Yeah.
And it's so much, so long.
And it's, I mean, some people like that, but
Because it's so sick. It's in everything. It's in like 90% or 80% of what you're drinking.
Yeah.
Not so much from Bordeaux or Loire, but from everywhere else.
Oh,
Especially
in
the warmer
Entre-deux-Mers,
Is it
in
Entre-deux too?
Yeah,
Okay.
you get because for simple wine, for simple Sauvignon Blanc, of course.
And I remember the son next to me, Patrick Capiello, who's brilliant. We just looked at it and went, fuck, Capis. What'd you say? We said Capis, sorry. What do you call this? You know. And then one of the Psalms said, it's funny, because I have cats, and it never bothers me. I said, because you have cats. I don't have cats. And every time I go into my friends' apartments that have cats, I'm like, Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, and because
So that's what it's from. It's from being ripe to the point of being really ripe and.
no, usually it's unripe. When it's not ripe, usually people try to get this point where you get maximum of thiol. That's the name of the component that gives this cat piece.
And they pick it at that point?
Yeah,
Because they want it.
Because they want it, of course. Because it's for some simple wine, it's very exuberant on the nose, and some people like that.
No, people, yeah, I guess.
Some people like that.
Yeah.
It's simple wine. It's to match with some food. It's not bad, but of course, in terms of when you take the wine in your mouth, it's not so
Barrels
good
worth?
points
Go in
here,
for a
but
barrel.
when you look at the
Go ahead.
the thickness of the
Go ahead, you can keep talking.
it's so it's very good to keep the humidity and temperature stable. So it's even if
That's all I wanted, thank you.
Perfect, Joe. Thank you.
like something maki de légumes. It's vegetables maki.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
It's a little quail egg with.
and la maki might do. This I think could be interesting as well. Foie gras, I don't think it will match the best.
You don't need close-ups of the food, do you?
No, sir.
Get the labels out.
Yeah, it's a piece of something.
After we go to the Onouché 10, and for the white part, and for the red part we will have the.
Bingo, he's telling the truth.
Well, you want to be in focus?
Are you?
Go ahead.
What's the first one?
First wine we're going to taste, it's Florilège 2012. So it's one of the two wines we produce every year in the Estates. Us, we're different. It's not a first and a second label. It's more a question of terroir. So Florilège come from more gravel grounds, and Onouché that we're going to taste later, it's come from more the clay ground, clay part of the estate. So that's we've got 11 type of soil, and we decided to link that to the terroir. So let's start with Florilège 12. So it's quite expressive nose, and this is a blend, of course, of Sauvignon and Savignon. It's 55% of Sauvignon Blanc and 45% of Semillon.
It's really nice. It's really, really nice. And again, like I hadn't tasted your wines before, except downstairs on the lees, and you have this, as I'm speaking, this finish that's still going, going.
It's long. It's
Super long finish. Super food wine, because it's, again, that acid, that mineral,
it's what's important for us on the white wine. It's really to get the right balance between to keep this freshness, but to get this complexity in the wine. So that's really what we're looking for.
That's a good choice too, because this, between the two, would this be a little bit lighter, a little bit more acid, a little bit more mineral, and this would be a little rounder, a little fatter. The second one.
This will be even more. You get even more minerality in the wine, more tension. We've got more Sauvignon Blanc, but it's more clay, so it gives more minerality.
I'm going to go with the egg with that then. The eggs are really weird pairings. We had this earlier today. As a chef, I mean, pairing wine with egg, anything with eggs in it, egg yolk especially, is tough. Because the egg is really fatty, it's really heavy, it's really unctuous, it's got all the stuff in the mouth. So to have a real mineral, real acid, just something to cut through it like a knife is the only way to go. Oak won't work. I mean, oak that you're going to feel.
Exactly. But it's there are plenty of dishes that we can match with those kind of wines.
Let me show a close-up on your glass,
Your glass.
and you can move it around a little if you want. Thanks. Good.
Yeah, where's your spittoon? Where do we go with it? I drank mine because I'm trying. Oh, wait. Sorry. I have nothing to dump.
That's can we what no?
It'll be off camera. No one will see it. Give me a second.
So which one do you get? The Maki?
At the Maki.
Anytime, Mike.
All right, number 2.
So we're going to continue with Chateau Louchet 2010 white. As I explained, as we push the maturity into the grape, and we're making fermentation and we age into barrels, it allows the wines to last quite long. It's 2010, and it's a wine that I really like, and that is going to last. I mean, even a few more years, there is no problem. But that's
And an insane vintage. I mean, 10 all through Bordeaux was just a dream.
exactly. And I had a chance. I mean,
It's a completely different nose than this. It's a totally different expression.
It's more. You get more minerality in the nose, kind of flowering as well aromas. It's and you'll see as well. It's more. There is more tension and more minerality in the wine.
And the color too.
Color, yeah. It's.
That's delicious. I mean,
It's longer. It's even longer. You get very this finish that lasts very long, and this freshness, this complexity. And again, where it's fermented and aged in barrels, but barrel don't.
feel
don't,
it.
yeah.
No.
You cannot feel that there is that it was aged in barrels.
There's a little oak on the nose. What was the percentage Sauvignon Blanc Semillon?
70% Sauvignon Blanc and 30% Semillon.
Funny. It's funny because it doesn't leap out as a Sauvignon Blanc in those characteristic ways of tropical fruit, ripe melon, pineapple. Doesn't. No way.
But it's the terroir. It's more a terroir aroma, and the minerality that we get in this wine come from the clay in the grounds.
Do you sell this in America? Do you
Yeah,
sell
we
this in the
sell.
United States? You're starting.
We started.
Who's the distributor, the importer?
My brother-in-law.
No kidding. What's the name of the company?
It's a young company that he created. It's called Webster Barnes.
In New York?
It's in is in Florida, He's based in Florida, but he's going to expand a bit. Yeah.
This is delicious. This is beautiful. All right.
Can I start the next one on the pour? You're gonna go red now?
Yeah. All right. That was good. We poured.
So we start again with the pouring?
No. So what are you asking?
As a cut point, whichever is the next wine you're gonna pour, I wanna be ready. I'm gonna get it tight on his hands pouring.
So the next wine we're going to taste is the red.
Yeah.
All right. So what he wants, what Joe would like is when we start that sequence, he'll be ready, and he's going to start it with the camera focused on you pouring.
Okay.
So he has that shot.
And I'm ready.
But we're not.
Okay.
So, you should clear,
So
clear the
we're going
glasses.
to
You're going to bring out some
change the
lamp,
glass.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it.
So tomorrow we're going to fancy places, aren't we? Yeah. Tomorrow's really fancy.
Hey, Mike, do me a favor, just back up for a second.
Yep. Tomorrow we have to be on our best behavior, dress well.
Okay, gentlemen, anytime you're ready.
All right, so we do want to start with the pour, so I'm going to shut up. You'll start with the
I'm
pour.
close on where I think the pour's gonna happen.
Okay, you will talk and the pour's going to happen right here.
Okay.
So what's the first pour here?
So we're going to move to the reds, and the first one we're going to taste. It's Arpège 2010. That is one of the two wines we produce in the estates. Mainly Merlot here in the assemblage. 60% Merlot and 40% of Cabernet Sauvignon. I know quite well this vintage because I made it almost by myself, this one, so I'm quite happy with the results.
Wow. Poof.
Very expressive nose.
Super expressive, and of course, it's going to be cliche, but that, red fruit, ripe berries, just a super exuberant fruit nose.
And again, no oaky, toasty. Yeah.
Zero.
That's really what we're looking for. Get a bit, of course, of spicy.
You're reading my mind. Keep going.
Spicy finish and very.
That little on the side of the tongue, those little spice notes, and it's super spherical, super round, super integrated oak. No edges to it. And it's going on and on and on. So we're going to pair this with something that a local artisan chef makes, but he cans it.
Yeah, we've got a partnership with one of chef in Bordeaux, and we're making lamproie. It's a specialty in Bordeaux. Lamproie à la bordelaise.
Okay, for those of you in America that don't know what lamproie is, it's the vampire eel. It swims in from the ocean up the rivers, and it attaches itself to other fish. And its relationship is really simple. Once it's attached to you, it's there. It just sucks your blood and lives off of you like kind of a parasite. And I had these in Portugal before, smoked, stewed. I love this stuff.
And it's prepared with the wine of the chef.
Yours.
Yeah.
Mike, do me a favor, I know you're gonna tell me, just talk about it again, because I was moving.
I noticed that. I was talking and he moved the camera. Why did he do that?
I wasn't, tight on your hand, I had reasons.
So we start again?
I'll start again. So from where? From where? Lamprey?
Yeah, just talk about it.
Okay. So those of you in America that don't know what lamprey is, it's lamprey eel, and it's this little gnarly vampire eel thing that swims upstream when it spawns. It attaches itself to other fish. It's got these suction cup teeth, like rings of teeth, and once it's attached to you, it may as well be a new extension because it just lives off the body of the other fish. However, they're delicious.
They're delicious, and it was prepared with the chef in Bordeaux and with the wine of the estate. And so we're...
God, it's sweet. This is great. This is so good. I'm like a lamprey freak. All right, I'm going to save this next bite for the next wine. This Merlot, I can't let this go. 2010. So it's Merlot 60%, 70%?
60% Merlot and 40% of Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay. No Cab Franc and no nothing else. Do you grow Cab Franc?
Yeah, nowadays, because we planted last year some Cabernet Franc, and we planted in 2010 some Petit Verdot. So nowadays, I mean, in the next year, we'll have the four variety: Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Petit Verdot, and Cab Franc in the assemblage.
Which is 4 of the 6 you're allowed in this part of the world. You can add Carmenere and Malbec and Rambouillet.
Exactly.
You know. This is really delicious. I hate to pour this out, but we're going to continue tasting wines. Sorry. So good. Thank you. I'm going to have another bite of this. Man, you have to mail me a can of this. This is so good.
Whew. And when it's crazy because when we make some blind tasting about that, I mean, most of the people don't realize it's fish.
No, I was going to say, you could think it could be a real nice veal stew or even almost like a beef bourguignon. In a way. I mean, it's just because the texture of that meat is just so, it's meat.
So,
and the red wine is kind of a big flavor profile. And the texture of that, I mean, all eel is like that. All right, I'm done eating. Next.
Next. So we continue with the other wine we produce every vintage. So that's Onouché 2010. So again, for the white wine, Onouché was made on clay grounds. And this again is more, the profile of the ground is more clay. And here, as compared as Arpège, we've got more Cabernet Sauvignon. It's mainly 60% of Cabernet Sauvignon and 40% of Merlot.
Yeah, totally different nose profile too, right?
Exactly. You get, of course, again, a range of black and red fruits, but more minerality.
Yeah, more black fruit, more like a boysenberry black fruit.
But again, more minerality in the wine, kind of flowering as well stuff too.
Yeah, there's a weight to the nose. Oof, 12 months in oak?
12 months. 1/3 of new oak, but still the oak need to be well integrated in the wine.
Yeah, definitely more Cabernet.
Get more
You know,
power.
it's funny because you've got this piece of land that's, you said 30 hectares you're farming?
Yeah.
And you're just deciding to use different parcels and they have totally different, I know one was more Merlot heavy, one was very, but totally different personalities. Like This could be, in my mind, it's 2 different vineyards, 2 different styles of wine completely.
That's why we don't define the 2 wines as first and second wine, because each one has got its own personality. Each one, it's completely different wine from one to another.
What year was this?
2010.
10 again.
Yeah. It's really
This will age
boy.
like, and this, what I was going to say, you and I have the same thought. This is 10 years from now, this is going to be opening up, and longer. Delicious. I got to tell you, for guys that started in 2008, newcomers, real newcomers, great job, great story, great future.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you very much.
No, pleasure.
I hope
man.
you enjoy the.
We're gonna. This is a pleasure. Joe, there's one thing I want to.
Steve.
So just spell your first name. Spell it.
Okay, Gauthier, Gauthier.
Perfect. Like Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Like Jean-Paul Gaultier with.
That's his last But it's different, spelled differently.
Exactly. It's spelled differently.
But it's pronounced the same. All right, sorry. What am I doing? Last name?
It's Briest. B-R-I-E-S-T.
Okay. And how would you like to be identified? Owner, vigneron, proprietor?
I'm the owner and the person. The technical manager too. Technical. I don't know the word in English. How do you say that? The person in charge. Of course, of the production, but as well, I'm not only technical manager. Anyway, say the owner, one of the owner,
okay.
One of the family
Right.
owner.
Family owner.
Yeah.
Super.
Okay, sorry guys, we didn't hear you. Okay, and we're on.
Right. Gauthier, thanks for having us. Tell me your story, because you're kind of new to the neighborhood, right?
You're right. We're actually, the adventure started in 2008. We bought the estate. We completely fell in love in this place. It's really remote. We've got a great terroir, of course, but it's very close to Bordeaux. And when you're here, you don't feel you're so close. So it's kind of protected place.
And your family, you were literally farmers before this,
We're on farming background. We're still actually farming.
Yeah.
A bit more south, maize, corn. Potatoes, carrots. But we were passionate by wine, and we decided in 2008 to jump to this side of the farming. Of the farming sector.
Great timing. Because 2008 was your first experiment. 2009, you're getting to know it, and then suddenly this year happens, 2010, and it's like home run. Great.
Yeah. Hopefully 2015 will be the same. It started as well as 2010, and we're expecting the same results, and hopefully. I've got something to celebrate in 2015, so I need to get some great vintage in 2015.
You have a child. Let's do this. Let's take a walk in the vineyard, look at the vines, taste some grapes, go downstairs, maybe taste a cask or two, and then do a tasting up here.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Kirk, you have to use that. Are you speeding? Still? All right, Kirk, use that to get us in, please. I know it may have been 10 seconds long, but keep it. That's my
We do it again, yeah?
No. So this is not on film. Just spell your first name and your hyphenated last name for the camera, so we can spell it right.
Okay. Sandrine.
Spell.
S-A-N-D-R-I-N-E.
Then.
D-A-R-R-I-E-T.
Okay.
F-R-O-L-E-O-N.
Bingo. And how would you like? We're going to identify you. Vigneron, vineyard owner.
No, it's good.
Chemical engineer.
Oh no, chemical engineer.
So
no,
boring.
please.
Vigneron.
Yeah, vigneron
Right.
is fine.
All right,
I prefer.
All right.
Please. Yes.
All right.
It's good.
Speeding?
Yep.
We're with Sandrine at the Bordeaux Wine School. It was a little private tasting. Tell me about your background, though, because you kind of came to wine sideways.
Yes, I studied chemistry,
Chemistry.
so I'm chemical engineer and
So you're a chemical engineer. That's like postgraduate stuff.
yes, and I worked in the industry before working on the wine business. But indeed, to be honest with you, I was working on cars, painting,
No way. Car paint.
car paint. Yes,
And drinking a lot of wine to get over the car paint theories.
sometimes. But my father got sick, and he had to have a big operation. So I stopped my job and decided to come back in the family business.
So you grew
winery.
up in the family business.
I did.
To some
yeah.
extent, okay.
Sure, and in fact, I found the winery much more exciting than my big company working on the.
Yeah, I mean, chemical engineering is a regular paycheck. It's secure. It's not exactly 9 to 5, but you get weekends off. And instead, now it's worry all the time. How's the winter? How's the spring? Is it raining too much? Because you're also growing sweet wines. You're growing Sauternes.
Yeah, sure, you're right. It's quite a stressful job, but
Yeah.
in fact, it's my passion. So, you know, you can't, at one step, you can't forget your passion. And I've been growing since I'm a child in this winery, and definitely that's a place I need to be. So, no more question to ask.
And 2015 has been a great year.
Hopefully, because we deserve it. After 3 very bad vintage, or
Yeah.
difficult vintage,
Yeah.
not very bad, but difficult, definitely we need now a very good vintage. So that's
you're
excellent.
you're going to apply your chemical engineering background to a wine tasting with like strange angular combinations, and I'm the guinea pig.
Yeah, that's not a strange. That's just the way we teach it at Bordeaux Wine School.
Okay.
How we teach the wine food pairing, especially working on the wine, because as you know, at Bordeaux Wine School, we have a very nice knowledge about tasting the wine,
Yeah.
understanding the wine, understanding the aromatic families. And in fact, what I'm just doing, I am just thinking about the aromatic family you can find on the fruit.
Can I
And-
can I confess something to you? I did the test the other night. The sniff test with the pens. All right, with all the songs, and I have to admit this. The first one was lemon. I got 0. I got nothing, and I wrote down on my score sheet 0. Okay. Next one was coffee beans. Got it.
Right?
Third one, I swear, for me and Patrick Capiello next to me, it was ripe banana. It was pear. I'm like, there's no way, dude. It was ripe banana. No way. Then I got the vanilla.
Great.
What was the last one? I'm missing one. There's another one in there. I was like 4 for 5, but the lemon was 0, and I'm telling you, it wasn't pear. It was banana.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, you have done a great job because you found the good aromatic family, which is a very good point first. And after, you know, aromas is very subjective because it's according to your culture, where you're living.
I eat
There
lemon.
is
How
some
did I not
aromas-
smell it? I mean, get it.
Yeah, excellent.
Lemon. I got the lemon, but
that's the way you have to teach yourself. Your
so I should
nose.
smell lemons.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure,
all right,
of course.
all right.
And what I advise to my students is when they go for shopping into a real market, they have to smell the fruits,
Okay.
smell the vegetables, and you're going to learn more and more.
So that said, we're doing all Graves, all Bordeaux Blanc.
It's
All whites.
only white wine from
Right.
Bordeaux.
So we're going to be drinking
So
Sauvignon Blanc Semillon.
firstly, yes,
Okay.
exactly, and Muscadin, because some of
Muscadin,
them they
that's
are
right, that's-
blended with the Muscadin.
Yes, yes.
And of course, the full wine you're going to taste is 100% blended white wine.
Okay.
But what is pretty interesting is we have the two first, which are a little bit more focused on Semillon, and the two others a little bit more focused on Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
So that's going to give you a real overview of the diversity of Bordeaux wine we can have.
What are we doing
Okay,
first?
please.
What do we have first? Get me started.
First, yes, we have a Chateau du Grand Wex, which is a Bordeaux dry white. So we have 52% of Sauvignon Blanc, 33% of Semillon, and 25% of Muscadin. And
12 months
no,
in oak?
50%.
12 months in oak?
And no, there is absolutely no oak.
There's
It's
no oak in
only-
this.
No, it's only a vatting aging. Sorry, there is only a fermentation in
There is fermentation in oak.
tanks, and there is a little aging, very very small, in barrels,
In
but
barrels.
very very small
Okay.
because the production is mainly in tanks. So the idea with this wine is just to get the freshness of Sauvignon Blanc, the roundness of Sauvignon Blanc, but also the aromatic potential of Semillon, because Semillon gives very nice white flowers notes.
I've noticed that. White flowers, almost peach sometimes, white peach, peach skin.
Exactly. But
And it's not as that tropical fruit you see from Sauvignon Blanc.
no, Sauvignon Blanc, especially in Bordeaux, we are not catching citrus nuts like grapefruits or lemon. That's the way we are.
I failed the
Really
lemon
working on-
test, remember.
Okay.
So what are we pairing this with? What's the bizarre
So
pairing?
I propose to you to pair with zucchini.
Zucchini, sure.
Sure.
That's what I would always think of. I'm
Zucchini.
going to order some zucchini, and what are you going to pair that with? Oh, sorry.
So zucchini, I serve you a cold soup of zucchini
Soup.
with mint.
Mint on the top.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the idea with white wine is firstly that we discover that lots of green vegetables are very suitable with the acidity of the Sauvignon Blanc, especially this soup, which is very creamy, you see?
It's totally creamy.
Totally creamy, so it's going to have a very nice contrast with the acidity of the Bordeaux dry white.
So I'm guessing, I want to have one more spoon, have a sip of this, that this acidity is going to be like whoosh, right through the creaminess.
Exactly,
Like
you're right. And another point, we're speaking about texture, but the other interesting point is the aromatic point, because you have mint, and mint, we know, is giving menthol aromas, and we know that there is huge connection with menthol and Sauvignon Blanc, because Sauvignon Blanc has lots of anise nuts. You understand? Anise.
Yes, anise,
Anise
fennel,
is good.
anise, yeah.
Perfect.
Tarragon,
So-
anise, fennel.
That's why we like mint into this velouté, because the mint is going to pushing the Sauvignon Blanc aromas, so pushing really citrus and grapefruit nuts style.
This is good.
You like it?
This is good. This works.
It
This
works.
works.
Yeah, sure it works. Yes, it's quite funny.
Let me
But you
change
know-
angles. Hold on one second. Come on out. Just
Joe,
one
do you
second.
want to taste also?
Well,
He's got to shoot. He can't do anything now.
let me
But
just
work
get
on what
this,
he's doing. Let him think.
Okay. I would say the answer is yes, but not now.
It's just a refreshing starter. You see, just having a light soup, creamy soup, you can serve with a dry Sauvignon Blanc, using the mint. What do you think with the mint?
I like it. I like it with the mint. I like it with the soup. And earlier today, we were at a winery that I need not name. It's great. It's wonderful. It's local. It's a big family
Right?
and beautiful. And we had an egg dish. Yeah.
Sure.
We had we had a dish kind of complicated. It was sautéed ceps, a reduced chicken, dark chicken velouté, and a soft-boiled egg that was then enrobed in phyllo dough, deep fried, so the yolk was runny. And as a chef, eggs and wine are really hard. And we went with a
Sure it is.
bone-dry Sauvignon Blanc, super crisp, super acid, and it just went through it like a knife. And then we had another Sauvignon, their higher-end Sauvignon Blanc that was 12 months in oak, and it didn't work. The oak and the egg were like, but the stainless was like right through it. So
Yeah.
yeah, great combination.
Probably a question of acidity too. What we like also with the mint is the mint is giving a cold taste, cold feeling. You see, when we eat the mint, we feel coldness. And we think that there is a nice link with the temperature of the wine. You see? Very nice combination. And also the cold mint we have is pushing the aromas of the white wine. So it's just simply, because when you are eating vegetables, you don't always think about what about having wine with vegetables. But indeed, it's really working, and I think it's really respecting the vegetables and the wine too. So that's
Smart,
what is
smart.
pretty interesting.
And I love vegetables.
So this was a quite original wonderful pairing. Now I want to introduce you to a more classic wonderful pairing, which is oysters.
Bingo. I
Yeah.
love oysters. Let's go.
So
Pause.
let's go.
Pause. And we should take this off the screen. Here, let me give you a few so you don't have to reach.
Just
Like anytime.
Sure.
These two glasses.
No, they have to move.
Yes, you can remove them.
I'll roll them.
this is nice. I like it. The creamy side of the zucchini is very interesting. And it's really respecting the wine, but just balancing the acidity on the palate. You see, the creamy side is like making a sort of tapestry
Yeah.
film
Yeah.
in the palate and just making the acidity very soft, very harmonious.
Same wine or different wine?
No, we're going to go for the same wine because what is interesting is to taste the same wine with a different
Totally
food.
different food.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
It's interesting. So, what do we serve oysters with white wine? Do you know, Michael?
You know, everyone's. Why do we serve, or what do we serve?
Why? Why do we serve white wine with oysters?
Well, the red wine is certainly not going to work. I mean, those tannins are going to have this big fight in the mouth with the saline property of the oysters.
Sure.
The oyster's also creamy and unctuous.
Sure.
And then I mean, everyone's go-to is going to be Muscadet, if you're from that area, or Picpoul, if you're from the
Exactly.
south. So something crisp, something bone-dry,
Yes.
something that never sees a bit of oak,
Yes,
and something acid.
exactly. That's why we serve it because you know in oysters you have a very strong iodine side,
Iodine.
and the only way to balance the iodineness is the acidity.
You're a chemical
So-
engineer.
That way, I am sure, but please, you're not going to eat if you think more about
I never
it.
want to think about
French
oysters
and
and
background.
iodine. I just think about them as tasting like the ocean.
Exactly. So that pure iodinase, and that's why it's so much nice matching with the white wine. Is really the acidity of the white is really balancing the iodinase, the iodine.
And I'll add one more thing to your point, that there's also this really nice, I don't know where this is grown, but there's this beautiful acid kind of mineral background. I don't know if this is limestone soil or what, but you have this astringency that reminds you of lemon juice. And I never put lemon juice on my
You
oysters.
don't need some. There is
No.
on the wine.
And I don't.
Definitely, yes.
I just eat oysters like this.
Yeah.
I don't put any. People use mignonette sauce. I'm like, why would you put
No.
shallots and vinegar
Sure.
and
You don't
pepper?
need it.
You don't need it.
No.
Oysters are a gift from nature to us. They taste like the ocean.
Exactly, and I think the acidity, the wine is really replacing the lemon side and also the acidity of the vinegar.
It's cleansing. It's refreshing. It's perfect.
It is. I think it's perfect wine for pairing. Sure, it's the classic one, but if it's lasting for ages, it's why it's
Why
working.
it
Yeah,
works for me, yes, 'cause it's worked
you
forever.
have to remember, Michael, that 50 years ago in Bordeaux we had plenty lots of white wine variety.
50 years ago, half of Bordeaux was
Yeah,
white wine.
sure.
And then for some
Half
reason,
of-
they tore it all up to make, I guess, I don't know, commercial reasons. It's a little more profitable. You can make more money with reds. And
Sure.
now you were down to like 10%, 8%, 9%.
Mm.
But I've always loved Bordeaux Blancs. I've always thought you guys were a great value in the wine world in terms of white wines. And you know, these days Americans too are eating and drinking wines that are more acidic. For a long time, we were like acid phobic. I mean, we're kind of a young wine world, so if you grew up drinking oaky California Chardonnay that was butter, vanilla, flat, zero acid, you would get this and just go, what is it? But now Americans love acid.
I'm sure. And Sauvignon Blanc is very trendy variety, but you have to know that in Bordeaux, especially in Bordeaux, we know for ages that Sauvignon Blanc is very appropriate to our terroir. We know it because Sauvignon Blanc probably has been planted since 4th century after Jesus Christ, almost, because the Romans certainly they had Sauvignon Blanc with them. But now we know that the type of soil we are planting Sauvignon Blanc is really respecting the Sauvignon Blanc how to say, maturation, because we know that Sauvignon Blanc needs a little stress, hydric stress, but very moderated.
Hydric stress is heat. It needs to be pushed with heat.
Yes,
Yeah.
but just a little bit, not too much. And the way we arrive to balance it is just planting Sauvignon Blanc on grapes terroir, sorry,
Right, grapes.
and grapes terroir, and under you mostly have a blend of clay. Sometimes limestone,
Right,
clay,
base.
grapes, but we know that the Sauvignon Blanc can find water quite easily into the clay. So that's why the Bordeaux terroir are very appropriate for Sauvignon Blanc variety. And that's a very good story about it. Even for Sémillon. Sémillon is a very old variety, mainly grown on the sweet wine part, but we have a lot in Entre-deux-Mers. And this variety is a very easy variety, but likes to be on clay soil. So that's also a good point for Bordeaux terroir, and what's explaining why it's really very expressive. Okay, so let's go for
Next.
the second one.
Next.
Sure.
All right,
So it's going to move some. The ones enlisted in this mission.
Yes.
They're so good.
Because Michael, in fact, for each of the wine, we're going to introduce an original wine for pairing and a classic one. So the original is going to be different, and the classic one will be the oysters, because it's interesting for you to taste the same wine with two different
different
wine
things.
and
Gotcha.
fruit combination. Is
Gotcha.
that okay for you?
Totally.
Okay.
I'm a guinea pig.
three. I can keep the plate if you
Okay.
want. On my side.
You got it.
So that's easier. Forever.
Sure, we'll have to change plates a million times.
Alors.
Alors.
So.
Alors.
Second
That's
one.
French for let's go.
Sure.
Alors.
So let's
I know
say
this one. I bought
you know
this one.
you know Château Bonnet.
Yeah, of course, famous.
So Château Bonnet, you are really on the heart of Entre-deux-Mers, which is, as you know, the main terroir where we produce dry white wine in Bordeaux. So we have 54% Semillon. Yes, yes. Just sorry, I am.
No worries. Take two.
Je me suis un peu en fait. 52%.
Oh, don't worry if it's 52 or 54. No one will shoot us.
Je ne mets pas quelqu'un en fait. Ça sera petit.
Technical notes.
Yes. So 52% of Sauvignon Blanc, 33% of Semillon, and 15% of Muscadelle. Okay? So that's a quite classic, typical blending for Entre-deux-Mers. But I think Château Bonnet is very interesting for the Sauvignon Blanc side, with very citrus, crispy side and a higher acidity compared to the previous wine. So yeah, we are really on grapefruits.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Beautiful, beautiful nose.
Very interesting
grapefruit,
and a little bit
grapefruit
herbacy,
Yeah.
a little bit cut herb we can get too on the second nose. But great freshness.
Hold for 1 second.
And the color is beautiful, so yeah, that's definitely a high quality bottle wine.
What year was this? 14.
And I'm back.
So on the palate you have this very nice Sauvignon Blanc style, but not too acidic. Very balanced acidity. But I want you to introduce a wine for pairing which is going to push the acidity of Sauvignon Blanc. And
Let's go.
I'm going to give you Fenouil.
Fennel.
Fenouil?
Fennel. Fennel. Yeah, same thing, exactly.
So that's the mix of a salad mix with fenouil, a little bit of cucumber, rocket.
Thank you.
So we choose fenouil because you have to taste separately fenouil because this is
Yeah.
pretty interesting. Because in fenouil we know that we have lots of what we call anisole.
Which is that licorice flavor.
And we know that in Sauvignon Blanc too, we have lots of anisole. So we are really working on an aromatic interaction linked to molecules. So that's really the way we are working today. But that's very, very interesting matching.
Well, who's going to argue? You're right again. And I mean, I just think this is great with most of the vegetable spectrum.
Sure, it is.
It's just,
Exactly. You know why? Because Sauvignon Blanc is really matching with the cucumber, with the
Yeah, and you've got- I was think-
fennel. It's working also with broccoli. It's going to work with all the menthol, the coriander, basilic. Very nice with basilic. So in fact, all the green vegetables are going to work with Sauvignon Blanc. Exactly. That's really the way it can work. So this is not very exciting salad, but you can enjoy your salad with a nice glass of wine. It's nice.
yeah.
You
I like
just have a
salads. I eat
simple
salads.
food.
I eat salads.
Just
It's
a-
not like, I mean, I don't order them a lot at restaurants. It seems like I could do this at home. But no,
Sure.
salads are good for you.
Of course.
And there's always a question, people love salads, so Sauvignon Blanc and salad.
Of course. And I think it's pretty nice just to think about serving a simple dish, very simple dish, and just making a brilliant dish with matching with a nice wine. That's just simple life.
Yeah.
And very healthy too.
And even with the rocket, it's great. The rocket's got kind of a spicy
Yeah,
note to it
exactly.
that hits this.
So this spiciness is really also very nicely matching with the Sauvignon Blanc. And the herbaceous side we add on the nose, you remember, of the Sauvignon Blanc, is going really to match with the herbaceous side of the salad. So that's really pretty well working together.
All right, this totally works. It's not off the wall. Is there an off the wall combination you're gonna throw at me now? Is
Say
there
that
something-
again when I'm ready.
Sure.
Yeah.
Moved.
Let's go for a classic.
Hold on
Go
one
back to
second.
oysters.
I want to be, and what is interesting is maybe to taste again the oyster. Firstly, because they are delicious, and secondly, because I think the acidity in this wine is different from the previous wine.
And you guys in Bordeaux have this weird habit.
Yeah, sure, you have to
custom
taste it.
of eating oysters
Yes, yes.
with
With
bread
butter.
and butter.
Yeah.
Butter. I'm like I just eat oysters for the pleasure of eating oysters.
Thank you so much, Michael.
But I'm gonna try this. So I have a piece of bread. I've got some butter. I want to hand you a couple of oysters.
Thank you. That's
All right.
just perfect. Because what is very important for oysters is also to serve it at the right temperature. This is very, very important. It needs to be served quite cold to really give the best aromatic side. So let's taste this classic combination.
The butter idea is not bad. Butter idea is pretty good, actually. All right. Can't argue. Can't argue.
I'm just thinking the butter and the bread is not necessary. Because in fact it's a nice tradition, but the bread is a little bit cutting the wine. Because sometimes it's making your palate neutral. So you see it's stopping a little bit the oyster, very iodine style. So it's better just to take oyster straight with the wine.
The only way I eat oysters is like this.
Yeah,
We'll
sure.
talk about this. I mean, the
No.
bread and butter is interesting as a concept, but
But it's not necessary. You don't really need it. If you have wine, it's okay.
also it fills you up. The bread fills you up. You can eat more oysters if you just eat oysters.
Of course.
If you're eating bread, it's like a sponge.
Exactly. You're right. Like a sponge. Exactly.
Do we know what kind of oysters these are? Do you guys know? They're really good.
It's special oysters. I mean special because they have a special maturation and a special aging. You know, it's a 3 years old oysters. It's natural oysters.
This one has
but
a muscle attached to it. That's cool.
There is
muscle.
muscle. Oh yeah, exactly. But it's not Bouchot
So
oysters.
three years.
Yeah. You need 3 years to get this size. And in fact, they need to, you know, oysters, you start with the naissant, very, very tiny, and after
Right.
you have, constantly you have to repact it because it's growing.
Right.
So it needs more space. And in fact, for these type of oysters, at a step, 2 years old, normally they get out from the water and they make a special aging into a different water, you see? So they have a very special treatment, so they have this very creamy texture.
They're amazing.
Very full-bodied
Yep.
texture, which really makes the oysters full-bodied and very balanced with the acidity. Because the texture of the oysters is also very important for the balance of the wine. But the creamy side, it's like with the zucchini. The creamy side is just making the acidity very soft and very easy.
Where do they move from different? We were. Do they grow oysters in Sète? Béziers, Sète. No Sète?
Yes, sure, but that's not,
That's not this.
oyster from Sète. It's from Bassin d'Arcachon. And you know, the naissant from Bassin d'Arcachon came from Japan because we had a big disaster 100 years ago, approximately.
The disease of
Oh,
oysters?
yes.
Yeah.
So they had to get back from Japan naissant, so very nice naissant. And today in the Bassin d'Arcachon you have white oysters that are the most grown at the moment. And Bassin d'Arcachon is quite interesting because at the entrance you have lots of flue in the water. Lots of.
Right. Lots of minerals coming
Yes,
through. It
lots of.
flushes
and
in and
with
out.
lots of strength.
Yeah.
So that's
Current.
very good because you have lots of current.
It
Thank
stirs
you
it up.
so
Yep.
much.
Yep.
So it's really renewable.
Yeah.
Yes, the water constantly.
'Cause these
so
things-
that's really feeding the oysters
These
very well.
drink like 50, 60 gallons of water a day, in and out.
Sure,
It's bivalves.
it
That's
is.
all they do is
Of
they inhale and
course.
exhale water all day long.
Yes, they need a lot of water, so that's why they're quite interesting. But after, at one step, they really have a special treatment which really push them to make this very creamy and full-bodied side.
They're
There.
incredible. All right, enough oysters. Next.
I'm going
So-
to pause because I think it's going to take a minute to clear.
Yep.
But maybe it's because I travel quite a lot in the United States, but normally I go much more in California. And
A lot of vegans there.
of course,
I know.
huge movement. But I know you're from the East Coast. You're from New York, no, Michael?
Yes.
So maybe New York is different, is it? Is
No.
it different?
A lot of young kids. Totally young, like under 35, tons of vegan vegetarians. Tons. It's really popular. Way more than people think. Way more than statistics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll move these plates to get them out of the way. We should move these? It's all right. I like broccoli. It's good for you.
C'est pas une salade très excitante.
Non, elle raconte ceci.
Elles étaient dans la salade des asperges. Dans la salade
Yes.
qui vient d'avoir.
Ah mais non, c'était le fenouil, Cécile.
Non, mais il y avait aussi il y a qu'une seule salade, il y a du fenouil, du concombre, des asperges.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry about it. Excuse me.
Okay.
So this is a very special wine I want to introduce to you. Very special.
Never saw it.
Because we are on the Graves appellation, but we are on the south part of the Graves appellation. That means that we are closing into the Sauternes terroir. Because you know that if we produce Sauternes wines, normally we don't produce white. But now there is a new trend of producing white wine from Sauternes terroir. Just because we know that of course, producing Sauternes wine for ages, we know that perfectly the white wine are very suitable to this terroir of the Graves appellation. That's why this is pretty interesting because you are in the south part of the appellation into really the sweet wine, close to the sweet wine appellation, and very specialized on Semillon variety. So this wine is a blending of 50% Semillon, 25% of Sauvignon Blanc, and 25% of Sauvignon Gris.
Yeah, that Sauvignon Gris is really funny because it's never on labels in America. I don't know the grape, and we talked about it here. You don't have to declare it on labels. It's just Sauvignon, period. Is it a little smoky for you?
It is.
Why?
Just a little bit, because it has been aged in barrels. So
Well,
there is.
It's not volcanic soil, that's for sure, so it's smoky.
Yeah,
so it's oak.
You
It's smoke
can't
from the
tell
oak.
that a smoky taste could be going from the terroir.
Yeah.
You can't. So definitely it's coming really from
Oak.
the vinification. Yes, exactly. It's quite mineral too, which makes the wine quite interesting for this smoky mineral side and a little bit exotic fruits. So we are really working on this Semillon side on sweet terroir with
You get the-
clay.
You get the fruit in the palate.
Yes.
That's for sure.
And just take the texture of the wine, which is really very soft, very round. We have this very nice texture, really giving lots of softness to the wine.
And super long
And-
finish.
Yeah,
Super
exactly.
long finish. You're going to pair this with broccoli.
Yeah.
Broccoli.
So let's be adventurous and just
Broccoli.
take this wine with a nice broccoli. Yes.
Broccoli.
So that's pretty grayed and aromatic notes on the palate. But you have this very nice citrus fruit on the back. And you feel that how the hock is really structuring the wine and making the wine very, very nice. So, why do we serve broccoli? Because
You tell me.
in broccoli, I'm going to be very boring.
No, I want to geek out on this. What's the chemical structure of broccoli
Yes,
that makes it
exactly.
work?
There is a link between the chemical structure of broccoli and the fact that this wine has been aged in barrels. So that's, yeah.
Really?
Yes, exactly. We have what we call catoin. I don't know the English word for it, but we know that this molecule is on the very buttery side of the broccoli. You understand? And also we have a little buttery side of the wine. You know this very soft structure we have on the back of the palate, which is really the buttery side, which appears with the vinification and aging in barrels. So that's pretty on this texture, very nice texture. We are working on this broccoli and white wine matching.
So the butteriness would definitely, some of that's got to come from the oak.
Sure.
Yeah.
On the wine, definitely,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But that's quite funny to discover that we have also this same molecule on the green vegetables. How could we know before?
It's remarkable where we've come with the chemical analysis of wine, isn't it? No, really, in the last 15,
It's
20
great.
years, it's like, no,
Yes.
everyone was kind of walking in the dark, and now we're
Exactly.
like, this is why, this is why, this is why.
But I think we just have to keep in mind that wine knowledge is huge. So we know just a few about it, very few. But we still are searching and trying to make new connections. After, for the wine for pairing, I think the molecules are very interesting. Obviously, when we do this exercise, just to taste with simple food, not very pure food, in fact. Not
Yeah,
much.
just by itself, boom.
Just by itself.
Right, steamed
This is
broccoli,
very
done.
pedagogic. You taste it. You taste the wine, and
Bingo.
bingo. Exactly. And broccoli is very antioxidant food and very
It's the only vegetable my son eats.
It's good to
My wife and I eat everything on the planet, and he only eats broccoli. He's 23 and a half.
Oh.
So whatever, God bless him.
good. He has been,
One good choice though. He's picked one good. That's the one good choice in his life. He eats
he
broccoli.
has been well educated.
No, he only eats broccoli, but whatever. All right, another one with this? Oysters with this? No, because it's oak. I don't think oak
I
and
think-
oysters.
I think it's interesting to make again the wine for pairing after your experience in Large Beige. You know, you said to me earlier that in Large Beige you tasted a little bit more creamy, fatty white wine with oysters, and it didn't really match.
Right,
So if you want to taste it again,
that's right.
yeah, because the oaky side is not too strong. I will probably not do with the next one, but just maybe taste, and that's interesting to see how it can combine again. I just think that when you have creamy oysters, creamy wine can be okay if you have a very good acidity into the wine. It's very funny. It's just pushing the iodine of the oyster first, and after you have this fatness of the wine, just combining with the oysters,
Yeah,
and after
Yeah.
just finishing on the very roundness.
it's as a compliment, it's not as bad as I thought.
No. I think it's quite nice. And you know, we have to keep in mind there is not one truth in the wine food pairing.
No single truth.
Not a single one.
Agreed. There's no doctrines.
No.
Next,
exactly.
before he runs out of
Okay,
media.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yep.
I'm gonna move.
Puis on fait le bonnet avec les huîtres. Moi, je trouve.
Il y a celui-ci aussi.
So, Michael, sorry.
This makes sense for me. This makes sense for me.
Merci.
Classic.
Classic. This is
wine and food
classic.
pairing.
This is classic.
Classic, but I think that people, if they needs to realize that cheeses are very respected when you serve it with white wine, much more than when you serve it with red wine.
There was this old myth in America for years and years and
You're
years.
very clever. Congratulations.
What? No, there was this old myth about cheese and red wine. It was like, oh, the Rillettes. You forgot the Rillettes. Sorry. There was this old myth about cheese and red wine, and it was through the 60s and 70s and 80s that you'd finish your dinner with these big red wines, you know, Cabernet Sauvignon, and oh, you have a little wine left, and you can offer you some cheese. And everyone accepted it. And then suddenly, like, a light goes on in my head, like, when would you mix dairy and tannins?
Exactly.
Why? It's
Why?
like a fight. Like you have this beautiful dairy product in your mouth, and then you get this tannins, and just work. They don't work.
Exactly.
It's a horror story.
Exactly.
Whites, acidic whites, mineral-driven whites, and even 2, 3, sautéing. Great with cheese. Super with cheese.
Okay.
These cheeses plus blue.
Yeah,
I love Sauternes with cheese.
I do.
Although we're not taking Sauternes today.
We can try after if you want, because but let's try now with this Château Lagarde, because Château Lagarde is on the Pessac-Léognan appellation, so north of the Graves appellation.
Relatively new designation since the 1980s, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's it, 1985. And on this Pessac-Léognan, the specialty is the blending with Sauvignon Blanc, because we have 80% of Sauvignon Blanc, 50% of Sauvignon Brie, and 5% of Muscadet. So we are really targeting on Sauvignon Blanc variety, which is a big trend on Pessac-Léognan Blanc, because we discovered on Pessac-Léognan Blanc that this mixed gravel clay was perfect for Sauvignon Blanc variety. So there is lots of Sauvignon Blanc which has been replanted recently on the Pessac-Léognan Blanc. And this wine has been vinificated and aged in barrels, but the barrels is really very well adjusted, very well balanced on the palate, and we are much more structuring the wine on the strength, but on the fineness of the palate.
It's delicious. And with this Chevrolet, it's been great.
Yes, sure, because we are just looking on the creamy side of the Chèvre and the softness of the wine. It is a very harmonious wine and food pairing, very easy to make, and also this goat cheese is a little bit drier, the texture is a little bit drier. So the fatness of the wine is going to balance this texture, this literally dried texture.
The goat cheese is a little bit acidic, can be a little bit grassy, can be a little bit funky, which is perfectly sets up with this wine. It's a great pairing.
And I'm really sure that drinking this type of white wine with goat cheese, we just respect the terroir of the cheese, because we don't have to forget it. There is a terroir for the cheese, there is a terroir for the wine, and we just have to respect both. That's why that's the way we teach the wine and food pairing in Bordeaux, is really studying the wine to respect the food, and just making a wine and food pairing respecting wine and food both, which I think is very
It's
interesting.
a great point. Super
It is.
point.
It
To,
is.
to that note.
Yeah, cheers.
So this works beautifully with the cheese. Is there something
Yes.
weird you're going to make me eat?
Yeah, sure. I want you to introduce
Yeah,
to you
yeah.
something very exciting for me, which is
Peas.
peas. Exactly. You know peas.
I love peas. I eat peas all the time.
Oh,
love
that's
peas.
great. So you know that peas is a very, very trendy plate in for the French gastronomy, because peas was a very famous plate during the King period on the 17th century.
I did not know that.
Yes, and we like peas because blended with feta, feta is going to give you acidity, is going to give you
From the
a
cheese.
little bit of bitterness also, which is going to be a little bit more pushy on the palate. But on the green peas, on the petit pois, we have very nice fatness, because probably you know, but on petit pois we have a lot of acid aminé. You know amino acid?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Amino
Awesome.
acid in
You,
peas.
you know umami?
Yeah, that thing, that fifth flavor component.
Sure, but
Yeah.
umami is glutamate, is acid aminé, and in petit pois we have a lot of acid aminé. That way it's very matching well together, because the
Yeah.
petit pois is really giving the fatness, which is going to balance a little bit the bitterness and acidity of the feta, but also it's going to be a very good ping pong part with the wine, because a little bit rumness with the wine, and it's really just making the wine a little bit pushy. So that's a very exciting wine food pairing we can propose you to
Yeah,
Bordeaux.
and I love the whole idea of the vegetal bit. The whole.
Yes.
What these? I mean, to me, what else? I mean, I wouldn't do. Well, I might do Gamay, I might do Nova Musculeza, but this is great with vegetables across the board,
Yeah.
right? Super crisp, super clean,
Sure.
super polishing.
Sure.
All right, I see a bottle of something here. What's? That's
So-
not dry, and that's white, kind of. It's
Yeah,
more golden.
sure. Because you said to me previously that you love Sauternes with blue cheese, and
I did. I did.
I think we.
I've been encouraging people to drink Sauterne for breakfast. Actually, I think it's a
Really?
breakfast food. I have. I think that a little bit of Sauterne in the morning
But that's perfect.
is a great
I
way to
love
start the
you.
day. Americans eat cornflakes and sweet cereals and waffles. Just no. A little bit of cheese and a little Sauterne, just a little. Go to work and boom,
That's
you're good.
perfect.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're okay.
I've been on
the rest of the
camera.
day.
I've been known to encourage this on camera. Sauterne for breakfast.
What a great trend. I
It's a
love
concept.
it, Michael.
Yeah, it's a concept.
I love it. Oh, sweet wine.
Ah.
Sweet wine from Bordeaux with breakfast.
Pourquoi pas?
What a pretty good idea. I love it. That's perfect. So, so just to work on the little umami side, if you want to experiment something, we know
Yes.
we think that on botrytis wine there is umami because umami is a flavor which has been developed on the fungus side. We know it.
Right.
So we think that in Lupiac we have a little bit, and sweet wine we have a little bit umami. So do you want to experiment?
Yes, I am here as a
Taste
guinea pig. I am your
the same
guinea pig.
vegetables
With this.
with sweet wine.
Wow, this is bizarre. So I'm having
Okay.
petit pois, chèvre,
Yes.
and Sauterne.
Sorry.
No worries.
Get my fork because I didn't.
Is this yours?
No. Sorry about it.
No. No worries.
But that's absolutely great vintage 2011. Very nice vintage for sweet wine because we just had a straight, pure botrytization, very quick.
Which year?
2011.
11.
Yeah, sure. And we think that 2015 is the same profile than 2011. We just tried that we're going to have a very quick botrytization and quick harvesting too. So what is very interesting also to taste these two wines together is you actually realize that mainly we have the same variety.
Right.
Sauvignon Semillon.
Right.
Obviously it's inversed because we have 80 Sauvignon Semillon and 20 Semi Sauvignon, which were the inverse of that one, which was 95 Sauvignon, including white and grey, and 5% Muscadet. But what is pretty interesting is just to understand that now the last research about sweet wine shows that we do have the same aromatic profile than white wine from Bordeaux, except that thanks to the botrytis, we have a concentration 5 times higher than on a normal white wine, which really make all the potential aromatic potential of sweet wine.
But it kind of makes sense because you've got like 10% of the yield, right? I mean, they say that a good one vine might give you a bottle and a half, maybe 2 bottles of wine.
That's true.
And the old rule of thumb is one vine of yours.
Sure.
You're lucky if you get a glass and a half.
That's very true. But you're right, Michael. But that's not only a question of yield. That's also a question of botrytization. We know now that thanks to this fungus, which is completely incredible because it's destroying all the skin of the berry.
Right.
Even if it's destroyed, we know that thanks to this fungus, there is a high concentration of the aromas, which really makes things completely amusing. So let's taste umami.
I did already actually, and it's kind of bizarrely it works. I mean, I would never
forget
ever
about
think.
feta. Forget about feta.
Forget about that. Just peas.
Just taste
just
these,
peas.
yes.
Right. Peas.
It's just pushing the peas taste.
Yeah, there's like a point when they go, whoosh,
Yes.
and I don't know why.
I'm just explaining it in the chemical side, but that's quite surprising to see how it's very harmonious. But we know that today also umami can be a way to exhaust the taste, to push the taste.
Thanks so much. Hysterically funny.
You love it?
Yeah,
it's
it's great,
funny.
it's crazy.
Yes, and Cécile prepared for us some sweets to finish this tasting. Because if you are starving, there is some little typical, very typical cakes from Bordeaux. Probably you don't know it. It's Dune, because Dune is very linked to the dune you have in the Bassin d'Arcachon. You know?
No
close
idea.
to the sea.
The sand dunes.
The
Oh,
sand.
I live on the beach. I
Yes.
love dunes. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I spend my whole summer at the beach, like
Sure.
2 months worth.
Really?
No shoes, just flip-flops, board shorts, period
And
dunes.
here we have the highest sandy dune in
So this is
Europe.
sand. This is a
Yes,
box
sandy
of
dune,
sand.
sandy
Yes.
dune, yes, by the
So yes, sorry,
No
I can
worries.
show you.
Open it up. You're better at this than me.
I can show you. So these special cakes, they are called dunes because they look like dunes. You see?
What on
Little
earth?
dunes. So that's a sort of pâte à choux.
Pâte à choux, yeah, pâte à choux.
Yes, but
So,
fulfilled with
like profiteroles.
chantilly.
Profiterole full of chantilly.
No, profiterole is ice.
Yeah, yeah,
Vanilla
but
ice cream.
right, but the pâte à choux, what they use
Yes.
for eclair dough, profiterole, exact same
exactly.
thing.
So
It's
that's
w-
pâte à choux fulfilled with chantilly inside.
All right, I want to hold you. Grab one. Super. Go.
And
Together.
this is the sandy side of the dune, you know, with iced sugar.
It's kind of French.
Yeah, nice pronunciation.
Oh. Who doesn't like profiteroles? Super. This bakery's in Bordeaux.
Sure it is. It's a very trendy dessert for Bordeaux wine. Bordeaux people, sorry. Very, very trendy. On summers, lots of Bordeaux people are really eating this type of dessert. What is very nice with this sweet wine is as the dessert is not very sugary, we are really not pushing the sugar into the wine, just being on the same texture and just making a very harmonious wine food pairing. So that just going straightly, simply in the palate.
Super.
Just a pleasure.
Thanks again.
No, thank you, Michael. It was a pleasure to share this
No,
wine food pairing time with you.
And we had the dunes. How can you go wrong getting at the dunes? Congratulations on the vintage 2015. It should be phenomenal.
I have